Greetings and welcome back, one and all, to From the Depths and to our wonderful little lighthouse here. I have received an enormous amount of extremely good suggestions for names, and I will be naming this wonderful fortress in this episode. And of course, it will mean that once it has been named, it will be going up on the Steam Workshop, and I will provide links in the video descriptions. But there's one last thing that I wanted to do. This was suggested by Sky High, and that is, I should add a laser defense system. It's not going to be a weapon, but it will perhaps help it a little bit, because we may see combat happen around this thing, even if we don't want it to. And whilst it's not going to be capable of fighting for itself, we do want it to be able to take care of any incoming missiles. We don't want it to be actually in the fight as such, but we do want it to be able to keep itself going. Now, the way I'm going to do this is I am going to have, I guess around here would be where I'd want it. But we are going to be building a laser defense system in here. Now, I wonder, if I take this away, will it get rid of those? Oh, I won't. Fantastic news. In fact, that is pretty awesome. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way up, shall we? I don't know, actually. The position there might be a little bit awkward. Still, perhaps what we'll do is I'm going to move this down just a little bit. Let's go all the way down. Then build up, maybe? No? Absolutely not, apparently? Okay. Let's build out here then. Like so. We'll put the lights on it. Like that, actually. There we go. That's going to be a little bit easier. Now, I am glitching the system a little bit, and I do apologize for that, because normally I don't think you should be able to have these lights just kind of floating there in the nothingness, but we want it, so I'm going to do it. There we go. Let's get rid of you then. So the lights have moved down slightly. Now, I've received an enormous amount of suggestions for the way I could have had the lighthouse work like a normal lighthouse, and they were actually really, really good. I wish I'd thought of them at the time, but the way I've built it now, I'm going to roll with it as this. But the suggestions were actually really, really quite useful. Namely, to have it work like a real lighthouse. That is, one light in the middle. Rather than rotating the light fixture, you have a kind of a blind rotating around the light to create the beams. But since there are no beam effects in this, it wouldn't really create quite the same effect. Now, we're going to need a multi-purpose laser block about here, I think. There we are. That's fantastic. Yes, yes. We then want a laser connector there. There. I should put the mirror beam, but since I'm dealing with such a small setup, I didn't think to. We will then want a laser missile defense here. And, of course, we'll want one on the outside here as well. So there we are. That's our missile defense system. And that's immediately going to connect to a laser coupler just down there. There we go. Is this a laser coupler? Yes. Fantastic. Now, I'm not thinking of putting... ooh. That's interesting. So the Q switch is now in there. Okay. I'm not thinking... Oh, wow. Everything is being reorganized. We'll go with the laser cavity itself. I'm not necessarily thinking of having the laser be a very high-powered one, but we are going to bring it all the way down to meet the spin block there. I may replace this, perhaps with a destabilizer instead. Maybe. Actually, destabilizer can go in here. Yeah, we'll have a destabilizer there. And also a frequency doubler here. There we go. And in fact, a frequency... maybe the frequency doubler. Not 100% sure on that. No, we'll go with a laser destabilizer there. And this one down here will be a regular laser cavity. There we go. Now all we need are the pumps, and then we should be good. So I'll lock position there. Then 1, 2, 3. Ooh. Of course, that's going to strain my engine a little bit, isn't it? Well, I guess my engine's just going to have to put up with that. Because we do need a laser defense of some sort. There we go. So, that is our laser defense system. Now, if we have a quick look at this. Continuous wave laser, only range of 39. Well, damn. I was hoping we could get a little bit more range on that. But, alas, no. Very well, we will have the Q switches then. And we'll see how crazy powerful this becomes as a result. So we'll want as many as we can get on this as well. Because we want it to be firing as fast as is possible. Right, what do we got? We've got a range of... Oh, actually still remarkably low. Okay. That's interesting. Very interesting, in fact. What do I got in there? Maybe it needs to be a laser cavity in there? Are these all connected? Let's have a quick look. I may have disconnected something. Energy 400 to 400? No, that's all fine. Okay, let's bring that down. No, I have probably disconnected it now. Let's make sure that I'm pointing the right way. There we go. Okay, let's see. What kind of power has this got now? Range of 343. It's not quite what I want. Disabler. Placed in the cavity disabler will dramatically increase the energy used when firing. So we want frequency doublers then. Okay, 1, 2. What do we got now? 424. I mean, it's not a good range, but I guess it'll do. I suppose. Maybe. This is just here to try and keep everything safe, I suppose, so it doesn't really matter too much, but still, a little part of me is a little bit concerned about that. Now, as for the actual detection, that is going to have to be a little bit further out, because we need it to be out further than this lip here. Otherwise, it's not going to be able to detect things properly. So we're going to have to invest a little bit more in AI. So we want a... let's turn it upside down, maybe. There we go. Mainframe there and there. And the same on this side. There we are. And finally, we want the missile warner system. There we go. I may have to pull that lip down a little bit as well. As much as I want it there, I don't know, because this isn't going to be able to see anything above it. Yeah, actually, I'm going to have to do that. So what's going to have to go here is I'm going to have to expand this out just slightly, and then go the missile warner on the outside. There we go. That should be enough for us to detect any kind of missile incoming. And flip, add missile warner. Now I had to put those AI mainframes upside down. You may not have easily been able to see that from the way I was building it, but they wouldn't fit otherwise. On the plus side, I suppose this does mean one thing I can do. We go back to wood blocks, and I'm still thinking I'm going to keep this as a wood block setup. Maybe one day I'll upgrade it to use lightweight metal alloy. I had to think about that word there. But for now, I think what we've got going is perfectly fine. And I kind of like having this kind of sheathing for our missile warner system, honestly. That's quite neat. There we go. That's our lighthouse. It now has a moderate, a very, very moderate missile defense system. Well, I say moderate. What I really mean to say is terrible. But still, hopefully it'll be enough. Right, let's also make sure that this is set up to 30. Max hold time of 30 seconds, I would say. Probably even less, because we've got so much healing going on. Max hold time of 10 seconds there. What about you? Let's push you all the way out. Want you out to 30. Hold this for 10 seconds. There we go. Blueprint will release when it has been held for 10 seconds and has been built to at least 0% completion. Yep, that's good enough. I'm just setting all of this up now so that no one else has to set it up when they download this. We'll just leave that as is, and you can adjust that depending on what kind of height you normally want the fortress to sit at. And then the final thing is to go to resources and set up what we want. We've not got any ammo on this. I'll accept spares, and I'll transfer spares. We'll also transfer fuel. And there's no ammo to accept, so I don't need to worry about that. But there we are. Our little lighthouse is all grown up. Okay, now it's time to get to that part of the video that everyone has been waiting for, I'm fairly certain. And we're going to name it properly. Now, no longer will this be known as the minor outpost. In fact, I may as well go to save constructible for this, because it'll overwrite whatever I do. Now, minor outposts... Oh, can I not? Do I... Oh, I guess I do have to actually change it into that. Okay, well, fair enough. I thought that would overwrite it, but very well. Quite a few people suggested this name, and honestly, it wasn't what I was first thinking about. I guess I kind of didn't think of the sort of fire aspect as much as I was thinking beacons, which I guess are fires in the old world, but I was thinking more lights and that sort of thing. But quite a few people, I think it was 3 or 4 people, independently suggested Hestia. Hestia being the Greek goddess of the hearthfire, and this is what really threw it for me, because there were so many good suggestions. Heimdall as well was one I was particularly liking, but the thing that really put me in favour of Hestia was that Hestia favoured sort of domestic concerns. Architecture, the family, just the sort of the state. So more business of the home than of the battlefield and the front lines. And that is exactly what this has been built for. This is here, and hopefully will never get into a fight. It will have a small protection fleet that it'll make it for itself. It will have, let's see if that is saved now. It will have the missile defense system, but it has no weapons. It's not a machine of war. This is a machine purely for economy. It is going to furnish the rest of our empire with the tools and resources that it needs. It will be able to create a few things and help service stuff. It is a home station of a sort, and so that really threw me in favour of Hestia for that one. What I'm fairly certain I will make a second copy of this in lightweight metal alloy. I might even do that before I upload it, and then I'll upload 2 versions. One that is a fairly low cost version, this one, and then another one that is exactly the same, except all the wood is replaced with lightweight metal alloy, just for those who can afford it, for the extra weight, or the reduced weight, so the extra elevation that it can get out of the same amount of power. But that is it. I'm pretty happy with that, so we're going to save this constructible. The Hestia version 1 has changed since the last saved, and the version will increase. Save over minor outpost. And that was far, far more work than it should have been. In fact, I'm almost certainly going to be cutting that out, so there may be a bit of faffing around with names that you will have missed. I'm absolutely certain I will be cutting that out, actually. But suffice it to say, saving a fortress with a new name, now a lot more complicated than it used to be. I imagine it's a bit of a bug and it will be fixed. As you can see, I've got folders because I was trying to save new fortresses. But since I'll probably be cutting that out, word to the wise, if you want to save something with a new name, go into a different folder. That includes if you just leave the folder you were in and come back into it, then you'll be able to save it with a new name rather than save over something else. But we now have the Hestia version 3, and the extremely observant will notice that we've also got the Heimdall version 5. That is right. So as I will almost certainly have cut out the part where I decide to do this, I decided to do this. There you go. Since I'd mentioned I'd probably have a second version, and I really was torn with using the name Heimdall. There we go. The Heimdall is the metal alloy version of the Hestia. It is exactly the same in every other way. It's just coated in lightweight metal alloy. As a result, you can see that basically I've lifted it up. Well, it's barely makes any difference, really. But it's slightly more armoured, and for the same cost, it can hover just slightly higher. If this was a much heavier fortress, then that difference would be much more obvious to you, or rather much more stark. I've also added a few little embellishments. I went and smoothed things, but the biggest functional change is I changed the way I did the lasers. I realized that by having the actual laser defense low down and tucked under, it wouldn't actually be able to hit quite a lot of things that were above it. So I swapped them around. I moved the missile warner system further down, and I just added a bit of length to the laser and brought it out. On the plus side, that does make the laser slightly more powerful. If we have a look in here, let me find that block. There we go. It can reach out to 578 now with a pulse laser damage of 59.04. So probably have to hit each missile twice in order to take it down, but that's perfectly fine, I feel. And now we have 2 for the price of 1. Yes, both of these will be going up onto the workshop. In fact, you know what? Since we've got this all set up now, I went ahead and I turned off the naval AI because this was just constantly trying to get there into this position, and they were competing against each other a little bit. I'm almost tempted to include that bit because it was just so comically funny watching them compete over who was going to be in the middle of the resource ring. But I imagine I will just cut that out. But since we now have that, I think we're going to sell the Hestia. The Hestia, come out of play. And is this a Hestia? Yeah, that's the Heimdall. Hestia, I want you over here. Please and thank you. And go load in at your highest point. There we are. That should work really bloody well. I should probably have done this before I pulled it out of play, actually. I'll have to remember to do that when I bring it into play later on. That is to turn all of its AI back on. But for the time being, I'm going to go and sit in the Heimdall. There we go. I'm actually really, really quite pleased with this. Now, it has been commented that I need to paint my designs, and I do. I absolutely do. But for the sake of putting things up on the workshop, I prefer not to. I would rather give those who download it the option to paint it themselves. But once I've uploaded that up onto the workshop after this episode, I'll probably go ahead and paint it. I might do the Wukong as the Sun Wukong, rather, I should say. Whilst off screen as well. Or I may just get 2 building ships. I really do want to get back to building little fast ships to escort my Kunanoons, which appear to be in a fight. Oh, okay then. I guess we can do this. Let's warp on over to the Eversong and get all the way down there. There we go. Looks like we've got a coffin nail. Probably an atlas and something else. I'm not sure what. Why? Why did I do that? That was silly of me. Let's warp back into the seat again. And try not to jump out of the wireframe this time, yes? I think that would be very wise. Now I'm going to cheat the system and fly over here already so that we can watch what goes on. Now then, let's see. We want to move both of these into play. This is the fleet. Put the fleet into play. Yes? Yes, no? There we go. Yes. Also, I don't want to be controlling your weapons. I really wish there was a way to say, I never want to be in control of the guns. Are they both atlases, are they? Oh, okay. Looks like the coffin nail is already starting to attack our vessels, but they have both launched their volley of missiles, so honestly, coffin nail, you have no chance to survive. Let's be perfectly honest here. You've got your little shield, so you might be able to take 1 volley. But I very much doubt more than that. Though you are, to be fair to you, letting out quite a lot of ordnance. I wonder. Any explosions on the Eversong? No, most of them are bouncing. That's good. Yeah, they're bouncing even when they don't hit the shield, so we should be good. But here comes the enormous volley of missiles. Even if you had missile defense, I doubt you'd be able to do anything against this much firepower. You are utterly doomed. Let's just see if we can't get around a little bit so we can see where they're connecting properly. I can't really see it. But we're probably going to see that shield get completely wiped out. Why are those missiles changing course suddenly? It looks for all the world as if the Eversong or the... Have they oh no, they have actually changed. Oh, fair enough. They changed mid-barrage, so they're going for the Atlas now, are they? Why is that? Have they just decided that you're no threat? Are they insulting you that much? Have you lost your AI? Oh, you might have. You might have actually lost your AI because you're not firing anymore. They may have decided, well, you've got no brain anymore, so why bother with the body? But no, you probably should finish him off. I would prefer it if you would. But your cannons seem to be engaging at this point, so it really is game over for the poor old coffin nail there. As soon as it hits the water and stabilizes a bit, the cannons will be able to lock on, and that really will be the game over point for the Coffin. Let's have a look how things are going for the Atlases. In and out with my binoculars. Sorry about that, but that Atlas is absolutely gutted. And this one's probably not going to be long for that either. No, all the shrapnel is getting deployed now on top. Oh, look at those explosions there. Literally stripping the cladding away and scratching at the vulnerable organs underneath. In fact, we can actually see into the Atlas there. Yeah, it's going down. Alright, well, I'm going to zoom over here. Oh, my lord. I do wish it would reset the binos a little bit when you change camera perspective. I love the streaks the missiles are making in the sky, though. That is genuinely quite pretty. I do wish there were an option to turn off. In fact, I should really probably look, because I haven't. But I hope, I should say then, that there is an option to turn off the bullet trails. As good as it is to know that these things are explosive and armor-piercing, if you've designed the cannon yourself, you should already know that yourself. I mean, it would be useful information for... Let's stop that. Are you capsizing? No, I thought we were. My camera was sinking a little bit too fast. But it's useful information for enemy shots, but not so much for your own, because you should know what it's capable of firing yourself. I guess there are instances where your cannon takes damage and it loses part of its functionality, but for the most part, the cannon trails just look... They make the scene look messy, whereas the missile trails make it look awesome. In my humble opinion. I guess different people might find different information more useful and pretty to look at, but for me, it's all about the missile trails. Just watching them dancing in the sky or dancing in the water, wherever they really want to dance. It's just watching them dance, really, is the main thing. But it's taken us a little while to take out that last Atlas, but there it goes. And there we are. The battle is ours! Fantastic. Well done, you guys. Well done indeed. Now, let's have a quick look. The Sun Wukong is a little ways out, I fear. You know what? I think what we should do is we should pull the Eversong and the Kunanun out of play. And we should start moving them around to capture some of these territories. The Sun Wukong will be here before long. So, why don't I have the Eversong make a quick visit down here. In fact, we'll have them go all the way down there. We'll also put this up to 10 times speed. We'll just see if we... Oh, okay, that one... The Sun Wukong has just gone through that territory, so we don't need to check it. I was going to check it to see if we could capture it, but looks like we don't need to. So we'll let the Eversong and the Kunanun check out this territory. There could be something here, but there might not be. No, there actually is something. Okay, fair enough. We'll fight them off, and then we'll go take this one. And slowly we're going to make our way over in this direction. When the Sun Wukong is at this resource post, then I'll have the Sun Wukong at that point start to manufacture, and we'll build the new support fleets that will be sailing with the Eversong and the Kunanun. I think that'll be the better way to do it. I'm thinking one laser boat to help with taking down air forces, and also an actual dedicated repair ship. I think that would be a pretty nice idea. Right, where are the enemy? Enemy? Where are you? I see you not, enemy. Ah, really? Is it going to be like this? I guess we're going to just have to try and fight them through the rain. Oh well, worse things have happened, mostly at sea. Right, there we are. Let's bring the Eversong and the Kunanun into battle. And let's see where they're firing. They're firing in this direction. Let's go and see what we found. It's only a Force 7 fleet, so realistically, I very much doubt there's going to be anything left from our lasers attacking, much less anything else. There, I think we've already damaged its AI. Have we taken the AI out itself? No, that was just a, by the looks of it, some sort of tracker. But we've already destroyed the gun, and in comes the missiles. Yeah, that was actually a little bit mean. I feel that you've got better things to do with your time, Eversong, Kunanun, than picking on the little guys. I'm not sure I approve of what we just did. I approve more of what they just did, and that is face an impossible battle with dignity and honor. Whereas we were just, that doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. No, not at all. Alright, well, we'll pull you guys back out of battle and go on our way. I guess we didn't have an option. They did attack us. We would have just passed through this territory harmlessly if they'd let us, but alas, they did not. Alright, I think I'm going to have the Eversong and the Kunalun just kind of hang out there, maybe? Though perhaps first they should really attack from this point so that these engage. And then maybe go up there? I think so. We'll slowly attract all of these guys to attack the Eversong and the Kunalun. I think we'll take over this territory and then we'll end the episode there. And then in the next episode, I'll probably have the Hestia eat the starting fortress. And also the Sun Wukong start setting up for resource gathering in this position here and start work on a support fleet for the Kunalun class cruisers. I think that would be a nice next couple of episodes. We'll be building those out. But I've got some ideas of how I'm going to work with the Hestia. As you may recall, right at the beginning of this, I kind of wanted to build a city. And what better to have at the center of a city than a lighthouse dedicated to the goddess of the hearth? I think we'll probably be building on the Hestia. It will be the center point of an ever-expanding home city. And it'll probably be made of wood, just because I like the aesthetic. But I think it'll be an interesting time. Now then, let's go back down to the Kunalun. Please tell me that the Kunalun is not over the water. Are you on the other side of me? Where is the Kunalun? Kunalun? Ah, there we are. Good. Thank goodness we're not in the water. Ooh, only one ship. But it looks like a big one. Maybe a paddle gun? I'm not sure. We'll have to see. Time to bring you both into play. There we go. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is a paddle gun. Okay. Well, you're going to have decent missile defense, and you're also going to be able to saturate the sky with bullets to start with. I'm not too happy about that. If we're lucky, and their lasers can hit this, we might actually be able to take out their missile warning system. Uh-oh. Bullets! So many bullets! So much missile warners! No. Someone kill this large spire thing at the back! Ah, my beautiful volley of missiles! Impotently exploding in the air, whilst all of your guns basically just cover the Eversong in explosions. That's not fun. There's no part of that that's fun. I don't approve. There we go! We've taken out your missile warner system, I think. Is that it? Or are they still firing? No, they're still firing. Okay, well, there's something else that's spotting them then. Is it perhaps missile warners down at the front? Is that where you've got... Yes, you've got missile warners down the front as well. Ah, very clever. You even got harpoon guns. I never even noticed that before. Damn it. I feel the Eversong may be taking quite a beating. In fact, I'm going to go over there. Oh, my lord, yes, you have. If it weren't for the fact that I'm on board the Eversong right now, this would probably be really bad. But thankfully, I'm able to repair quite well. And that was pretty cool. A bullet bounced off the bridge and then bounced off the shield as well. Twice! Oh, I approve. But we clearly need shielding for the bridge. Quite a lot of it, in fact. But I think we may have done enough damage to their missile warner system. But yeah, I'm really thinking we need a proper bridge shield. And that's another point that a couple of people have asked. They repeatedly want the Eversong, or rather the Kunalun, on Steam Workshop. And I'm not quite ready to do that yet. And the main reason is it's not working as I want it to work. I need to put a lot more time and effort, primarily to fix the capsizing problem. But much as I didn't want to put the lighthouse up until it was finished and it was named, and although the Kunaluns are named and are functional, they're not where I want them yet. So these won't be going up until I've built the support fleet. They'll probably be going up before the Kunaluns will, because they're going to be an easier thing for me to finish up and get working the way I want. But then once I've got those and the laser ships are ready to support the Eversong and the Kunalun, this offensive laser system will be going. We'll be going to a purely defensive laser system on the Kunalun cruisers. And I'll also be centering the bridge fairly far back. I'll actually be moving the whole bridge back and just centering it along the rear of the vessel. That way, these missiles will rarely clip the bridge as if the Eversong is, or rather the Kunnununs are in motion. I'll also add a proper weighted keel to try and address the capsizing problem, and I'll probably go to the effort of trying to reduce weight where I can. I might replace this whole armor covering of the cannon with lightweight metal alloy. I may do the same for the bridge. The idea here, or I might even just do the down here rather than the top, because the bullets rarely hit the bottom. I'm not sure. Torpedoes would, so that's why I armored it so heavily. But clearly I need to reduce weight somehow to get this to sit a little bit higher in the water and generally fix up the design, make it suitable, make it something I can be proud of to put on Steam Workshop. Well, I am proud of it, but it is broken. It would cause frustration, and I don't want to be the cause of frustrations amongst my viewers. So that will be it for now. Of course, you know, going over the plans of when I'll be bringing the Kunnununs out. But in the next couple of episodes, we'll get the Kunnunun into a new area, and we'll probably just go through a couple of fights, clearing up these zones, get the Sun Wukong over here, get the Hestia to eat our starting fortress, and actually, probably in the next episode, the focus of that one will be building the support fleet, starting with the laser support frigates, because once I've got those, I can start addressing the Kunnunun issues, but also working on a dedicated repair tug. Just something to move around behind the fleet, just no real offensive capabilities, just the ability to repair. That's the plans anyway. So I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will be joining me for the next. But until then, and as always, do take care.